It's October the 14th, 2017. I'm Dana Durnford, your host. We're guiding you through the next hour or so as we talk about Hawaii. We see 5 confirmed dead whales. Now, the other one whale or 2 whales washing up on the same beach is you got better chances of getting hit by a Soviet satellite in 3, 2, 1. The C5 in that one little area in a short period of time confirmed with speculations and connotations of more dead whales. It's a very ominous sign. Hawaii is located in the middle of what was considered life for the planet, the biggest body of water on the planet. It's 50% of the oxygen on the planet is from the Pacific Ocean. It's the biggest it feeds the most people on the planet. Highest levels of Fukushima contamination in plankton. And the phytoplankton are the bases of the food chain, the oxygen chain, the carbon sequestering chain, the very bases of those. And so the current from Japan is over to your left, in the middle of the screen, basically. North America, you can see California. The jet stream, now this is the ocean currents, but the jet streams come straight across. Senior scientist on HBO says, I worry about swimming in Hawaii's ocean starting in 2015 due to Fukushima's plume. And this was one of the models. Worries in Hawaii over Fukushima radioactive leaks. Now, calling it a leak is a ludicrous assertion. Here, have a look at your leak. That's the leak. You see the building to the right. Does that look like a leak to you? More on that coming up. Concerns as to whether seafood coming into the state is safe. It's not. Never was. I'll show you not even your milk in your own country is safe, nor is your food you're growing there. Now, I've done several radio interviews on the public radio in Hawaii over the last couple of years. Jet streams and trade winds. I know this is going to come as a shock to all the nuclear apologists, but jet streams are real, and so are the trade winds. And Hawaii is right in the middle of everything. Is government trying to contaminate every region in Japan? Now, they're burning radioactive debris. We'll get into this coming up. Is everyone is contaminated? Then in a relative sense, nobody is. So, even if you didn't have a continuous chain reaction going on in Japan, they're burning it in the incinerators right across the country. And so the jet streams or the winds will bring it across. They're burning it at 3,000 degree Fahrenheit temperatures in incinerators. So this is hotter than house fires. So we know a lot about the current. We have incredible amount. We know it's real. We know the ocean, the width. Fukushima criticality. Now, this was 2011, but I can show you other headlines, of course, more recent. 2014. Surges in airborne radioactive releases. Airborne. So in North America and Hawaii, they get pollution from Asia. Hawaii gets huge amount of pollution from Asia, from automobiles, from forest fires in Asia, from different parts of Asia, but also from China and Russia, because they're in perfect line with the jet streams and prevailing winds. So we know how the currents generally work worldwide, but also the jet streams is able to influence that by distributing it in a hurry, and then the currents are able to mix it throughout the planet. This headline, this is rain from Fukushima. Now, it had to come past Hawaii to get to America. It doesn't go the other way, Dana. No, it comes right over Hawaii. You'll notice a little tiny bit of sarcasm. Okay, quite a bit of sarcasm with me sometimes. And so the ocean current, I'm Dana Durnford. So what I do is, I'm a nuclear expert, but I'm also a researcher. I'm a Pacific Ocean marine expert and Atlantic Ocean also. So West Coast hit with 220 million atoms, 129. So with 20 million per liter of rainwater, 55 was an evacuation zone. 55, 2 5s, 55. Same age I am, 55. I'm in an evacuation zone. And that's Gallows laugh, by the way. Not very good either, I know, but that's Gallows laugh. 20 million particles is 10 times more iodine-132. You got your calculator there, dig it out. There's 20 times or 10 times more iodine-132, and that ionizes and radiates its thyroid glands 9 times more effective than that 131. So the people in Hawaii had all their food and all their water and all their land, and they were breathing it heavily. Now, radiation this far away, tendency not to really drop you like a rock, but it did. There was 20,000 excess heart attacks in America following Fukushima in a 6-week period. There was a spike in abnormality compared to any other year for that time frame. Now, there would have been 30 times more iodine-133. We got a lot to get through, so we're going to start really kicking through this stuff. But there's the mathematical equations is there's a wide variety. So when you hear iodine-131, iodine and cesium, and hopefully I got everything plugged in. I did. And so curium is the biggest product. It acts like plutonium. Iodine 131, all the other daughters. 10 times more 132 iodine would have been in the same mess. 133 would have been 30 times more. 129 would have been around 31 times more in the same liter. But all the other isotopes, like all the xenon and their daughters, would have been in the same liter. All and krypton would have been in the same liter. All the americium would have been in the same liter. All the neptunium would have been in the same liter. The reactors run on uranium for the most part. It's reclaimed uranium that they're putting through the first time. They had to put it through a chain reaction, extract 235. Then they reclaimed it. And they need that for the fission. And then also they were able to bombard the 238 uranium and flip it to a 238 americium, 239 americium, it decays to a 239 plutonium, blah, blah, blah. Right? So it's very complicated how each of these isotopes are formed. Thorium, they bang it with the neutrons and you get 232, 233 uranium, which is a fission product. But they can't control the release. Such a massive amount of radioactive isotopes is suicidal to even try it. And don't get me wrong, these people are suicidal. More of that's some other day. So there's much more going on than the 131. I just want to establish that before we rock and roll through this, because there's a lot going on here today. Now, finding these whales in Hawaii, this is extraordinary. So we got 2 stories going on today. We got the whales. We're starting off per se on the whales on a ghost ship coming up right away, and we got one story before that, a flip story to do with nuclear, with alternative energy for hydroelectric Quebec here in Canada. I'm in Powell River, British Columbia, Canada. Dana Durnford. I also have 6 gag orders against me, and I can't stress enough, because what do you think they're going to do? They're going to let them run out so I can talk? Or do you think they're going to, give me 6 more gag orders? Or do you think they're just, I'm going to accidentally disappear and die? Oh, poor thing, he had a heart attack just before his gag orders ran out. I'm heading back out on the ocean. So just to clarify that I know a few things or so. This is my last expedition. I've done the entire coast of Canada, and I'm boots on the ground. And so what that means, on an average day to an average person, is I go out and I do species counts. The pictures on the right are post-Fukushima, to your left are pre-Fukushima. Pre-Fukushima, Canada, British Columbia, Canada, had around 7,000 highly visible species in the tidal zones. You see them to your left. These are before and after in the same place. It's just a demonstration so you can understand how big of a diversity Canada had. Now it's stripped naked. We went out, we done the whole coastline, cruise on the beaches. First few months I had crews out there. I never went even stepped on the boat. It became so expensive I had to go do it myself. And it was costing $1,000 a day for the most part. Just bankrupted everybody and myself and was not getting the job done the way it needed to be done. And I had to do the whole coast. And so then I done a couple of expeditions and then a long one for 5 months where we done the whole coast in sequence, every 20 kilometers of the coastline, the open coastline. And then it took 2 months to upload all that documentation when I came home from that particular one. And so I have 14,000 hours underwater. It would be prudent to at least give me a moment of your time. I'm not here to play games with anybody. I'll go to battle for this whole planet and the other 8 million species, but will you? Do you even know there's 8 million species out there? Massive amount of debris off Hawaii. This is 2013. You had to be there. It just kept going and going and going. So odd it was a straight line. And this is headlines gathered up. The links will be below each of this. This is a concoction of different medias reporting on the same story. And so you go below normally these stories, you click on each of the individual headlines where they took these tidbits from. Nobody here, these headlines are based upon mainstream media. All the stuff I'm showing you is mainstream media. Japan's expert has accumulated off the islands warns of fish contamination. Reared dolphin washes up with heart problems, stomach lumps, last examined in the 1980s. Very odd stuff. And so the Pacific Ocean currents, they keep circulating around Hawaii, past Hawaii, and then the jet streams are depositing it throughout Hawaii. We're going to cover a stupid amount on Hawaii also today, on purpose, because I've tried to warn Hawaii several times about this. We've been on the public radio in Hawaii, and we thank the people that done that. A bit of slurping this morning. It's Saturday. Supposed to take the weekend off, but I can't. I'm heading back out on the ocean for 6 months. In the next couple of weeks, I'm waiting for a carburetor, a submergible, and a high-end drone to show up, and some other equipment, a big gimbal, blah, blah, blah. But I got to get the carburetor on the little Zodiac, because that's a brand new motor. And that's covered on a warranty, but that's a little worrying that was broken. I would be stranded out in the middle of nowhere, because I'll be out there for like 6, 7, 8 days in a row by myself, going to find a port, get fuel up, groceries, head back out. I'll be doing that for about 6 months before I make it back home and we can do this again. It'll take me 2 months when I get home just to upload everything, but we'll start back on trying to have a conversation about it. We'll cover this story because otherwise I'll forget about it, because there's so much news breaking all day on the nuclear side. Canada wants to solve nuclear wars with faraway dams. Just blah. Hydro-Quebec. And so, anyway, I'm just going to skip through this real quick because basically they're trying to set themselves up. They want to set a corporation. That's where I'm from originally, that island there. It's called Newfoundland, a little small one closest to me. 700 miles off the coast of Canada, per se. The other side is Newfoundland, but it's barely inhabited. And that's the St. Lawrence in behind it. But anyway, you want to build a dam in this boreal forest in Quebec, which is French. It is archipelago of 1,000 islands or something. And they're spending $6 billion since 1997 or something. I can't remember. And they're way behind. You still haven't got the hydroelectric. 2007, they're 10 years, right? It began in 2007 with the intentions of selling power to the U.S., where nuclear reactors are closing. So did they know in 2007 that those reactors were closed? That they weren't going to rebuild more? Well, they knew, yeah. And keeping nuclear alive to rob your country. Right? They're liquidating all their... Now, this headline came out, salacious picture. The ghost ship is not a ship. It's not even a dinghy. It's a tiny tender, 10 feet long. Other ships have already washed up. But this made it out there. The Fukushima ghost ship arrives in Hawaii with passengers. Pretty salacious, eh? And we'll jump right into it right quick here. A trip that takes at least 11 hours by plane and up to 7 days by boat. That is if the boat has a crew and power. So they're implying it took 6 years for anything to show up. It's basically what the article is implying. Now, I don't know if it's on purpose that they're stupid or it's a public relation firm. Interesting name, Paul Seaburn. So most likely it's a public relation firm parading as a blogger or just another website, right? And so the implications anyway is that nothing will show up for 6 years. 10-foot boat. And they blew it way out of proportion, put a lot of work into it for a non-story. But what they done all the way through the story was downplayed Fukushima. U.S. government funded study. West Coast and Hawaii residents are Fukushima downwinders. Now, by the way, there's downwinder is anything on the planet. So normally a downwinder terminology is used for nuclear power plants. The wind blows downwind. Right? It doesn't work that way. The only down thing is downriver. All nuclear power plants that are on fresh water, then everybody below it is downriver. But there's no such thing as downwinders. The wind blows in every direction. Does the snow only blow in one direction? Let me know. I'm going to go get a chunk of land in your country. You got the coolest place imaginable. Run this again. U.S. government effects of this, or downwinders, effects of this radiation exposure expected to be beneficial. No, I'm not making it up. No, I didn't Photoshop it. It's by, Loveless Respiratory Research Institute. Say people got Dr. Raymond Gilmedy. Gilmedy, right? Loveless Respiratory Research Institute. If you don't, you've never been here. Gilmedy, he got 94 experiments on beagle dogs and beagle puppies, mostly. Toxicity of inhaled plutonium dioxide in beagle dogs. You can link to that study below my video here at Beautiful Girl by Dana on YouTube. Or you can link over from my website, thenuclearproctologist.org. So he got 144 dogs, a single inhalation, monodispersal, very tiny. You can't even see it. If it was on the head of a needle, you couldn't see it. Tumor in the lungs, skeleton, liver occurred beginning about 3 years after the exposure. Bone tumors in 93 dogs were the most common cause of death. Lung tumors in 46 dogs were the second most common cause of death. Liver tumors were found in 20 dogs. Liver, lung, and bone tumors. Or competing tumors, multiple tumors. From a single monodispersal inhalation of plutonium. Okay? So I'll show you what downwinder doesn't mean. Let's look at downwinder. See this? Downwinder is everybody in North America in a few minutes. This is based upon a couple of weeks dispersal. It only takes about 3 days to hit North America. You can see Hawaii. Now see Hawaii. Watch Hawaii. Now see Hawaii. See the trailing edge of the mountains, right? See that? See how it tapers when it hits it? So watch Hawaii, how the mountain range splits the plume. Oh, Jesus. That's a modeling. This is a computer modeling. This is the dispersal. Notice how it doesn't stop coming out? Yeah, no. They never got hit, Dana. What are you talking about? That's ridiculous, Dana. How could they possibly get hit? Well, they're right in the middle. Stupid. I'm sorry. I mean, academic, journalist. By the way, a journalist in Hawaii couldn't find any of this. Because if they did, they lose their job, right? Because you see, well, you lied about every other accident too, didn't you? No, there's no models, Dana. I'm tired of doing the models. They didn't say there's models of Fukushima. He's crazy. You don't listen to Dana. Accident to Fukushima. He's got 6 gag orders. Well, he's been convicted. He's a known lawyer. Well, show me the lies. Not mistakes that I might have, simple mistakes that I blurp. I said 5,000 instead of 5 million, but then I corrected myself 30 seconds later, but you didn't clip that part of it. By the way, these dispersals from just pollution are well known. Yeah, but Hawaii's different. Dana's got a big magic bubble over it. Nothing can get near it. Yeah, well, you got 5 dead whales there again. The odds of finding just one dead whale is astronomical. And before I go to that, before I go to that, I'll just put that other little blurp. We were talking about Quebec, all right? And so Quebec Power, all it got, instead of building hydro dams in provincial parks, all it's got to do is put windmills on the mountains, somewhere else, or anybody. You get rid of coal, you get rid of gas, you get rid of oil power plants, you get rid of nuclear power plants, you replace them with windmills on the mountains where the wind blows all the time. There's no wind on the mountains. Actually, the wind just falls down, right? And it creates its own wind. Just go look up gear for mountain expeditions. You might be able to get it then, see? There's no such thing as mountains, Dana. You're making it up. That only happens on other planets that are not flat like Earth, Dana. You a flat earther? What, flat like the moon? Is Earth flat like the sun? Is it flat like Mars? Is it flat like all the meteorites? That's right, now you got nothing you can say, right? Go off and drink your friggin' wine. Shut up. I got real stuff to get done here. Loveless Respiratory Research Institute tells you that the radiation from Fukushima is going to be beneficial. But it killed all the dogs in all the studies, yeah? Now, Dean is beneficial. For downwind population, there's no such thing as a downwind population. What's that talking about? Why would you repeat that? Well, because you've been acclimated to it for decades, because they've made you stupid. Like, no, it's downriver. Downriver. There's no such thing as downwind. Right? The people that get sucked into that, there's so much else going on, they're not able to wrap their mind around what they're doing to everybody they talk to. The minute you use the word downwinder, the other person's brain go burp, 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 because they don't understand what just happened, but this was how it's done to you. And so causing harm and damage. For downwind populations, hometic effects, which is homeostasis, is what he's employing. Homeostasis is where your body equalizes something. So say potassium 40, which is a natural, what they call a emitter, but you can't make a nuclear bomb or a weapon or power or light bulb with a ton of potassium. But you can light a million 1 watt light bulbs with a gram of natural or man-made radiation. Say cesium or whatever. But that's downplaying it. You can do this for infinity, but you can only do it in a chain reaction for about a year or something, right? But you have to store it forever and ever. It doesn't lose its energy. You just can't utilize it to boil water. And so when you boil water to make power, it's 1 million gallons a minute. All you're doing is killing 1 million gallons a minute of life. So a glass of water, 16 million glasses a minute per reactor. Each glass has 1 billion creatures. 75 to 100 million of them are the phytoplankton, the basic food chain, the oxygen, the carbon sequestering chain. So by definition, nuclear is stupid. But they claim it's going to have a natural protective processes are much more likely than an Alexis effect, which is a bad one. Hermesis. And millisieverts is for gamma shot, X-rays, and neutrons. Counts per minute is counting the atomic disintegrations of the atoms that we're talking about. So 220 million atoms per liter of iodine, 129 in the rain, meant all the other isotopes in massive quantities would have been there, right? And all their daughters would have been there also. And those incredible numbers were 55 as an evacuation zone. And so people will focus and say, well, 129 doesn't pulse a long way. Yeah, but your body attacks with white blood cells. There's so much of it, you're accumulating stupid. So multiply that by 1,000, that's how much was in your hot tub during that period. It's unconscionable, see? What we got done. It's truly unconscionable. It's the same thing with this. There's 100 times more strontium-90 there. Rain with 20 million particles of radioactive iodine is 10 times more 132, 30 times more 133, 31 times more iodine 129. And the iodine 132, 133 can will ionize and radiate your thyroid glands 9 times more effective than the 131. But it had all the other isotopes would have been there, right? It doesn't just stop with iodine and their daughter, and it's just not 131, it's going to be all the daughters, all the xenons, all the kryptons, everything that comes out of the chain reaction. All these isotopes are the man-made isotopes that don't exist. The sun doesn't create these. The sun is fusion, not fission, see? All right. Oh, a little sore this morning. I've been up all night doing this. Sea urchins with inside empty. Bear skeleton. We'll be putting the submergible in the water in about 2 weeks up in the archipelagos. We have 26,000 islands up here. And we still need to raise probably, who knows, 60,000 by the time it's said and done, more. Birds dying of unusual cancers rarely seen in wildlife if we're lucky. I'm not coming back till it's done. We're going to all the communities. We'll bring in the high equipment. We'll get people, we'll do wicked interviews. Stay still, I'm trying to do an interview. God darn it. Excuse me. Darn it. We'll bring them makeup, we'll paint them up. We'll get them to do their interviews, they'll tell their stories. We'll hit fisheries and oceans, Coast Guard. Anybody is stupid enough to stop and talk to me. We're on a mission this time. I already got 6 gag orders. Pretty hard to up it. They're going to kill me at some point anyway. They've already tried. The worst scientists I've ever seen, Hawaii coral. Probably got nothing to do with Fukushima, Dana. Got to do with all these suntan lotions. Now, only a chicken neck. Your universities and your media, it's hard to accept this, but they're there to kill you. They've got no other purpose on the planet. They're incapable of being honest. They're incapable of doing what I'm doing. We can do what you do, Dina. No, you can't. I got proof of it over and over. You lied to everybody in Hawaii. Right? I've done it in interviews and broke that down, same as I'm doing today. It's like a ghost town for everything is bleached. This is what Fukushima's notorious, radiation is notorious for doing. By the way, see, this will bleach everything. This is why we see an extinction event when I went out there. That's why we see all the birds and whales and mammals and seals and sea lions that starved to death were emaciated, and the ones left there are emaciated. Because this wiped out everything, including the glaciers here in British Columbia, Canada. They were taken out in the last couple of years, gone. It'll take 5,000 years for them to come back in the perfect conditions. So the glaciers here in Canada, they've been here for billions of years, long before we shut up. They regulated the streams, the estuaries, the lakes, their communities. There's cold water coming down in the summertime during heat waves. And at the end of it, if there's still a heat wave, the salmon were able to get back up because the water was melting because it was a heat wave. But because it was such a big, thick ice pack, it was able to sustain a dry year or two. It was irrelevant. But so much radiation in the rain, incredible, unbelievable amounts. See, like 220,000 atoms of iodine-129, but you forget that is not just iodine-129. And because the media doesn't come out and imprint it, or they've never done it, and is incapable of doing it, because that would contradict all the lies for 74 years. I make these videos in the hopes that you will find them. And you cannot help but learn. It's impossible not to learn when you end up in my site. And, doesn't matter who I am, what I look like, what color my skin is, or what my ideology or race or religion is. Does it? For the facts, for the information, for the truth. Like, no matter what color my skin was, everybody would just a big amount of people would just disregard me because I'm this color, that color, those colors, them colors, or I'm that race or that religion or this ideology. But I'm none of those. I love all of it. I covet everything out there. And the 8 million species on the planet. And every smell and every taste and every experience and every breeze of wind on the planet. I covet it. My whole life, that's who I am. I love everything about life. Everything is precious. But life is life. I understand the struggles. I understand the lion and the antelopes. I understand the cougar and the deer and the bear and the salmon. I get that, right? And the owl and the mouse. I get life. I understand it, the human and the 8 million plants we used to eat. I get life. I understand life. I understand many things about life that most people probably can't, because I experience it a way that's not, I don't think is normal. I celebrate life all day, every day. I celebrate my life. But 6 gag orders tell me my life is getting short, see? And so it's best I go do something for the planet, like do those expeditions on the ocean, document that coastline, because I know I won't make mistakes. I won't falter. I won't lose the passion. I won't lose the will to get the job done. Because that defeats everybody before me. And there's no such thing as defeat in my language where I come from. I was not raised that way. Uncontrolled nuclear chain reaction may be coming from multi-fuel #1 reactor. I say that because anybody who's joining us doesn't understand. I'm heading back out on that ocean in the next couple of weeks when the rest of the parts show up. I'll be gone for at least 6-7 months till next summer sometime. It's just fall right now, and so I'll be out there all winter, spring, and most of next summer. Because if I don't, it'll never get done. We have to go out and show the extinction event. and we have incredible gear now to document it, to do really truly do it justice. And so, like, I'm so busy. My life is so incredibly busy. I live such an incredible, purpose-driven life that I'm exhausted every night. I'm just totally, I fall down exhausted and I curl up and I go straight to sleep. There's nothing to it for me. And it's just, I hit the bed and I get up early in the morning and I go. And not everything is, by any shape or means, is ever going to show up in my streams. That's not, you have to be on the hunt, reading, watching, listening to everything that's going on right around the world in different languages. Never mind. Nuclear chain reaction may have lasted over 7 months at Fukushima. Think about it. So Hawaii got smoked non-stop for 7 months is what that means before the America got smoked. The MOX fuel could be a neutron source. The MOX is mixed oxide fuel. This is where they took to reclaim uranium, reclaim plutonium from nuclear missiles, from nuclear high-level waste, the fuel rods themselves, that already went through a chain reaction, put them through a chain reaction again. That made them 2 million times worse again. They're 2 million times worse when you go through the first time. Second time, 2 million more times worse again. They reclaimed it that time. Now they're going to put it through a chain reaction again. They're going to call that a breeder reaction, because you make more than you produce. At this stage now, you're producing nothing but fission product, but you're releasing nothing but fission product. 3 times out. So 2 million times 2 million, and then that number times 2 million is how much more volatile and carcinogenic you have made the isotopes, which are in the atoms, right? Uncontrolled chain reaction underway at Fukushima. So it's never stops releasing. It's constantly coming out because of uncontrolled chain reaction. They're burning it in the incinerators. Every time you have a rainstorm or a snowstorm, you're liberating it, washing it into the ocean, everything else. It doesn't stop falling. If you just have a single release, it takes a decade to fall into the lower tropospheres. And so this is not something we can ignore. This is not something we can turn our back on and say, oh, well, what's done is done, and kiss our butts goodbye. This is not Hertz's last stand. Will not be to bow down and let the industry seal the fate. There has to be resistance. And they can't fight back. All they can do is single out the ones that are educating people like me and give us gag orders so they can protect some of their freak assets. Japanese ambassador to Switzerland recently suggested Japan should stage an honorable retreat from hosting the 2020 Olympic due to the unpredictable situation at the crippled Fukushima power plant. It's not unpredictable, it's very predictable. Concerned U.S. could be affected by explosion, a chain reaction, engulfing reactor 1 to 4. So Hawaii's going to get it before America, see? MIT professor, Japan must not act now to seal the reactors before it's too late. And the situation is this was April 2014 was what I wanted to harp on about that. There's a high probability that if a quake of a magnitude 7.9 or above, and it just had a 5.9 on a scale of 1 to 7, which is an 8.4. And we've seen radiation increases over Europe at the same time. A criticality can occur when an earthquake, yeah? They just had one a few days ago, right? October the 7th, 2017, just a few days ago. The day's October the 14th, so 7 days ago. Say it, Dana. Okay, it's a week. See? Bigger than 7 days. Hey, wait, no, it's not. You're just trying to make me feel guilty. Mysterious spike in radioactive particles across Europe baffles scientists. Oh, that was the 10th of October. 3 days earlier, massive earthquake that was actually, right, They say no abnormalities. It's really something in it. But anyway, what have we got here? There's a high probability. Nobody's sure about the location of melted fuel. A similar incident will probably occur again. 2012, nuclear reaction threat as temperature rises. Head of Japan nuke industry. Alarm steam rises from reactor 3, which is a mixed oxide fuel, the one we we're just talking about. The Moxie baby. This is a planet killer. Contains highly lethal MOX fuel. Alarm steam rises, uncontrollable. Fukushima Unit 3 steaming again, third time in a week. High radiation levels detected near where it was observed. TEPCO does not know where it's coming from. Fukushima reactor site engulfed by steam. Coming from an unknown source of Unit 3 and continuously wafting through the air. And so this all goes to, you guessed it, to Hawaii. Long before it gets to North America. Mysterious steam at Unit 3. Fuel could have shifted or worse, restarted a nuclear reaction. 2013. There's another story slipped in there. Whole community worker appears in Scottish court role in nuclear weapons protested. That's not a picture of him. That's the despicable media have to insert. This got nothing to do with the story. This is just, they have a frame below, a little window below their story, and they're parading people with criminal records there. Just a total distraction, so you won't even read the friggin' story. You scroll down below it. Community worker from Hull has been prosecuted by the Scottish court for taking part in an anti-nuclear demonstration. Journalists are idiots, eh? They were demonstrating just 4 days after the UN treaty was signed by 122 nations, condemning the development and possession of nuclear weapons. Like Australia won't even have a nuclear reactor there. Turnbull just shut them down again 2 weeks ago, right? I mean, like, you look at Watts Bar, it took 43 years to build it, get 20 years maybe out of it, and then 50 years to try to decommission it, and a million years to store the rods. Literally the stupidest thing you could ever do on the planet. We've got done 440 times already. Last count of how many dumps they got out there. There's over 100,000 dumps now in Japan with 30 million one-ton bags of radiation. They're arrested around 2 hours into the demonstration and charged with a brief piece. So police are literally idiots. Because the reason people are protesting has something to do, right? The latest case is in court, right? The media drag you away. All three were found guilty. You dare to read one story and they're feeding you that so you won't finish reading the story, see? Like, it's disgusting media. Just disgusting. Just loving the fact people are destroyed by a hideous system. And then you roll out the worst of the worst and you can't even have a conversation about anything else because they just feed you this garbage and everybody just falls for it. Right? This is not the person, see? I think it's immoral. We're spending billions on pounds on nuclear weapons when that money spent should be spent on schools and hospitals. Nuclear weapons produce so few jobs relative to what the money could do. I acted because it's wrong. Yeah, that's him actually, that one. Sorry. Oops. And I think police can't arrest the people who breach international law because police don't do that. They get people for smoking pot or not wearing their seatbelts or for fighting over deals at Walmart or something. Just the stupidest shit imaginable. Most cops spend their entire history doing nothing on giving children criminal records. Demons, man. Actual demons. They can't arrest the banker. They can't arrest the crooks. See, like Mark Zuckerberg, he can't even get a criminal record. The people in the nuclear industry that are poisoning your communities, no, they're not going to arrest them. They're going to arrest the people protesting being poisoned. That's what a police does. So it's not a police. It's an idiot. It's a thug that thinks he's somebody. That's all a police officer is, just a thug that thinks he's somebody. He doesn't do anything any good for anybody. It's, right? It doesn't. Like if you have an intruder in your community, it's better to call your neighbor than it is to call the police, because the police will fucking shoot you. Your neighbor knows who you are. He's not going to shoot you. You know what I mean? You're stupid to call the police. Get a fucking shovel. This is what makes how we used to deal with it. You got a criminal, you get a shovel. You beat the fuck out of it, and the community says, okay, get rid of it. It won't stop. TEPCO injects boric acid to prevent... I'm not advocating vigilante justice. I'm just saying that's what we're headed for anyway. TEPCO injects boric acid to prevent criticality. 2012. They're worried about it starting up again and consuming everything around and atomizing and aerosoling it after coming down with fission and spreading it around the planet to the jet streams and everywhere else. For the first time, we're going to hit heavy on coming up right away on Hawaii headlines. We probably got about 50 headlines to get through for Hawaii. And this is not a subject I can just rush through. And so I consider every video that I do is about the only video anybody's ever going to watch. And so in that one video, I got to try to give them everything necessary for them to be able to flush, be able to go research on their own and be able to flush it out. If they're not willing to do that, to be able to flush it out logically by the time the video is over. And so I make a documentary a day, basically, film a day, graphics and audios and pictures and blah, blah, blah. And I don't lie or misrepresent or make mistakes because there's no need to include it if I'm not sure, right? And so if I make a mistake, it was an accident. I'm pretty careful not to do it, but people can do it, obviously, right? Everybody can make a mistake. I'm not infallible. Fuel deep inside tree-stricken plants probably continuing to experience bursts of fission. Nuclear fission may be also happening in reactors 1 and 3. Curium mentioned. And curium is the biggest byproduct of the radiative fuel, right? Curium isotopes. They acted just like the plutonium isotopes in the dog studies. Just thought I mention that. And so what you're seeing in California, you have to absolutely positively get it in Hawaii. You can't have it in California without getting it in Hawaii also. So when you see the sulfur peroxide hydrogen buckyballs mentioned, this is from spraying the salt water on the reactors. It's an unprecedented spike, is right, because how many atoms does it take to give you an autoimmune illness or a disease or a deficiency or an injury? It's just one. So you have no way not to breed at least one. And that can take 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years to manifest just a single one. But that's not what anybody would have got. They would have been, when you're breeding it per cubic meter, 9 feet by 9 feet by 9 feet of air around you, there's 1,500 buckyballs floating around. Ooh, can't be good in a decade. We're going to lose most of the planet. And we already lost the majority of the vulnerable species are literally all gone. Most of the bacteria is gone along the coastline. Spiders, the insects, almost wiped out. Very tiny, small percentage of them survived. And some of these species are proliferating, but there's only those handful of species that don't have the predators around them to take them out of the hole and back, the rain. I mean, like normally with British Columbia would normally have 30,000 different types of insects, all of them jostling for every millimeter of space. Now you can somewhere around 30, 35 species. Effects of radiation not to come to people that are happy. They come to people that are weak-spirited. Had a Fukushima health study saying, like, if you're worried about it, then you're going to get sick. If you're not worried about it, you don't get sick because it doesn't affect happy people. This is not voodoo. This is just stupid. You literally got to be stupid to fall for that one. But he's going around giving lectures. Stop worrying about it. I'm a professor. So when you see these mass strandings of polar whales, now polar whales, I come from the land of polar whales on the east coast of Canada, from Newfoundland. And each year you see thousands of them coming into your harbor as they migrated towards Hawaii or anywhere else. Polar whales they travel very long distances. Mass stranding of whales, and so getting 2 dead whales on the same beach is astronomical. Now throughout history, whales that did go up on the beach, all the other whales didn't rush up on the beach and pound themselves to death, okay? I come from a place where I slow the boat down every day for whales for hours because there's thousands of them around me. I don't want to tear the rudder off the back of the boat. Come from a place with no automobiles where we're at one with the ocean for many generations. Long before I become a commercial diver and explored the rest of it. But I come from a land where we're one with nature, and so these things would have stood out vividly for me if this was true, that whales, if one whale goes up on the beach, the rest will pile up on the beach. This is not true at all. It doesn't work that way. But yet this is the claims we see him making repeatedly. All the stranded dead animals were to be removed for autopsies overseen by the oceanic and atmospheric idiot boxes. He said several of them appeared to swim towards the rock jetty, from the eastern part of the bay, and then were rolled in the surface against the rocks. No, they were dying. They went up there because they couldn't hold their sprouts out of the water anymore, where they breathe, and so they went up into the shallow water in desperation because they need to breathe, otherwise they drown. And they were heading for land. Where was the land? Where's the land in the Pacific? Just this little island. When they got there, they went right up on the beach because they were sick. They were sick because they're starving to death like all the other whales. They're starving to death. The anchovies the krill went away right away after Fukushima. Then herring, the anchovies, the squid, the sardines. This is why we see the mass starvation of birds. This is why we see the mass starvation of seals and sea lions. People on the beach reported hearing of other strandings on the island. But most of those reports, most of them, so some of them could. This is media. You can't believe a word. They're constantly going to downplay everything. It was a very emotional scene today, and it leaves us very heavy-hearted that we could not save all the whales. They were dead before they got there. They were going to die before they got there. They went looking for land because they were in desperation mode. What you're seeing is the death of the Pacific. But at the same time, everyone on the beach pulled together with a sense of aloha to help the whales that were in a way that was respectful and professional. Professional. Now, these people are traumatized. You can tell by the writing. Gotta get up there and write a story. Don't freak everybody out. Don't mention Fukushima. Several hundred people crowded the beach and neighboring jetty. Some people approached the whales, alternately stroking and embracing them, hugging them. Bless you, people. Disease and old age are common causes of deaths for whale, said the mouthpiece from NOAA. Despicable media repeated it. Oh, diseases and old age are a common cause of death for whales. Public lynching is going to be a common cause of death for journalists. in the near future. One beachgoer who helped push out one of the dying whales, emaciated and skinny whales, back into the surf, said he detected a bad smell from one of the animals, as if from an infection. The whales are emaciated, you can see it in the picture. For sure. There's no blubber on them whatsoever. Go watch the video. You'll see what I'm talking about. Strandings occurred, because it's better than what I got here, but strandings occurred occasionally in the Hawaii Islands. In 2004, a pod of 150 to 200 melonhead whales came into Hanalei Bay, and one calf died. See, so when you start reading it, if you're just scanning, you won't even read the rest of it. One died. A baby died. There you go. There's the evidence we're all looking for. That definitely explains how 5 whales just washed up on the beach, for sure. Oh, yeah. You morons. And in 2008, an orca, or aka killer whale, stranded and was euthanized. That day he could have been an old whale. And baby whale, I mean, just my goodness, right? A pot of 150 to 200. What, beach? No. One of the calves died, Dana. Okay. That's not got nothing to do with what we're talking about, though. Bird brain. So why put it there? Because you got nothing else you can put there. You gotta go way back to that point to say, oh, see, they die all the time. And so people who are just stupid, because they watch you or listen to you regularly, that you become stupid by doing that. No apologies to you people. I'm not calling you. I mean, you're stupid. I shouldn't use that word. You're unaware. It's a more polite word. It's hard for me not to offend people because the fact that you don't know about this offends me. You don't check things for yourself. You just go to media. That offends me, see? So these are emaciated whales. They're skinny, their tails. 5 pilot whales dead in traumatizing stranding. Traumatizing. You see what I mean by that one? These little pilot whales, less than 20 feet normally. They travel in massive groups. And look at these prostitutes. They'll sell you anything. Oh, the cop had to kill the key. He had a popsicle. It was dark color. He thought it was a gun. I got zero respect for police now. I couldn't care less about them. They won't arrest anybody that's doing crimes. They're out there fucking the little people in the community, the victims of the criminals. And so they're pointless fucking people. Someone goes steal something from your property, you catch them. They're good, you can prosecute them. But outside of that, they're just useless fucking people. They shouldn't be called police at all, right? They should be called like arbitrator or something like that. But giving them the name of authority is stupid. Giving them a gun is idiotic. Police don't need fucking gun. If someone's using a gun, call in the army. Get them to deal with it. Take the guns away from police. And right, so you roll out the dizzy bitches that don't know their head from their tail. Too busy being puke machines to be a human. It's officially humpback whale season. First 2 winter arrivals spotted. They normally don't show up till December, right? This is October early. So they come out a couple of days ago. Then you had the same time you had the ghost ship show up. There's not even a ship, it's a dinky. Many dinkies have shown up. And we're just going to hit all these headlines in a row. At least 12,000 humpback whales are believed to migrate to Hawaii each winter. Yeah, where'd they go last year, I wonder? Oh, they took a break, damn it. They're getting sick of going to Hawaii every year. I don't even care about these people anymore. Media is just like... Media's the bully on the street corner who shakes you down on the way to the shop. That's their general role. They're bullies, they're thugs, they're criminals, they're propaganda machines. This is all media is good for. And they'll come out and tell you headlines, but downwinders? Really? But anyway, we already covered that one. Hawaii Senator introduced a bill to require Fukushima monitoring for 5 years. Nuclear engineers should be all shot on site. Legally, it should be legal. And it will be at some day in the near future to shoot these people on site. They might want to have public hangings by then. But the fact we can detect it throws fear into individuals. Not, they don't justify their bizarre statements, do they? And the media just throws it out anyway. Who cares? French government map shows maximum radiation directly over Hawaii. Highest levels anywhere in the world. Yeah, well, I can show you conflicted 220 million becquerels in a liter here in North America. 20 million becquerels of iodine-131 here in North America. These are the most frightening things imaginable. Hawaii got hit first. They got hit with more. U.S. is receiving a steady flow of radiation. Media paying little attention to the radiation in food as this problem only involves Japan. As if the problem only involves Japan. Hawaii dairy farmers fight radiation by feeding boron to cows and goats. Like whoever in your right mind thinks that this is how you're going to fight radiation, I can't say enough bad things about you, so I'm not going to say nothing. But if you were my brother, I'd kick the shit out of you in a heartbeat, right on the spot. Wouldn't hesitate either. Oh yeah, just give them some boron, they'll be okay. Feed everybody the food. This is murder. By keeping the goats and the cows, that was murder. You murdered everybody. I can quantify that. Bear with me. Radioactive strontium in the milk. Now, see, we got studies. We know that the radiation goes into the breasts of women and animals, mothers of any mammal or animal or human species. And then it radiates the milk as it's going through there, and it also gets in the milk. This is hilarious. Top Hawaiian health official, which is a public relations firm for the industries, freaked out when Forbes reported there was milk exceeded EPA limits, and then freaked out, but then had to admit that he was technically correct. Not only that, but the amount of radiation, right? They freaked out because they didn't want the public to know. People in Hawaii, right? This top health official, that you should definitely 100% unequivocally prosecute that piece of shit. The police can't prosecute them. They can come after me for saying it, but they can't prosecute them for doing it. We don't even have a planet, right? We have no functional planet. There's no functional government. When I can be given the gag orders and they can be allowed to continue, then we don't have a functional planet. We best pick up weapons and take back our country at some point. The longer we wait, the harder it's going to be. And then the police will come after you because you want to take back your country from the mass murders because they can't do it and they won't do it and they refuse to even consider it. And so you're left with what? Just give up and die? Is that what you do? So if a burglar comes in your house and asks you for your gun so he can rape and kill everybody in your house, you say it's in the closet and the bullets are in the drawer. Is that what you do? You sit there and go, do you want a hand? Like you got to pull back on the trigger. Hey, you got the safety on. Okay, shoot. Ow! Is that what you do? Because that's what you're doing. That's what the police are doing for you too. Those sort things, you call the police. Yeah, you're going to do what? What are you doing? My dad was a cop. His dad was a killer cop. His dad was a killer cop. My kid's gonna be a killer cop. Shut up. Leave the scientists alone. Amount of radiation, 3 gallons of milk was your yearly dose according to the Chicken X. No such thing as yearly dose. That's based upon homeostasis, not homeostasis. Homeostasis is where your body regulates potassium. Your body regulates potassium. You're eating bananas. You can't get any more potassium in your body already has. You off-gas it. It's magic. You don't think about it. Your body does it. You can't survive without it. Everything on Earth has potassium in it. But oh no, there's more potassium than there is from the radionuclides from Fukushima. People who say that you should definitely kick the shit out of them. There's no reason not to kick the shit out of these people. They won't stop, see? The only way they're going to stop is if they're afraid everybody's going to kick the shit out of them when they open their pie holes. That's what we're headed for. And we're headed there at fucking super speed, too. Excuse the language. Now, think about this. The EPA official confirmed that the EPA maximum containment levels for iodine-131 is 3 picocuries per liter, and the sample in Hawaii was 18. Now, this is based upon historic numbers. The limits for water derived by the EPA are totally different from how it's derived through the FDA. The EPA saying their limits is over a 70-year period you don't want to have that incredible tiny fraction. But as I just showed you, you got more than the doses that they were faking since. So you're in harm's way if you're in Hawaii forever. You're never going to change. It kills you in increments. Cancer doesn't show up until the very end. There's Alzheimer's, dementia, and autism, and heart, and liver, lung, and respiratory, and diabetes. There's all your glands are directly affected, and you can't even get a transplant. Cesium and iodine both at 600% above the EPA maximum containment levels. But cesium and iodine are the tracers for all the other radioactive isotopes. If you got cesium or iodine, then everything else is going to be there. So 600% above for that one, but it's 600% above for the next one, and 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 the next one. But they can't even find them on the Gardiner counter. Uranium-234 detected in Hawaii, Southern California, Seattle, after. We don't want to create a panic, but it's good to know radioactive tsunami debris coming to Hawaii much earlier than predicted. Honolulu was reporting on the first official discovery tsunami debris from Japan near Hawaii. It's 2011. And the debris, possibly contaminated with radiation from Fukushima meltdown, coming to Hawaii much earlier, breaking up than the 2-year research was expected it would. They expect, it's going to take two years before it gets here. Well, the ocean current travels at 5 miles per hour. Crozier current, we'll get to that coming up. Takes 45 days to reach North America. But it fell into the sky, called the jet streams, like I showed you earlier in the video. We don't want to create a panic, but it's good to know it's coming. High concentrations of radiation in the U.S. and Canada. Plume was rich in 137, close to the surface. See Hawaii and Florida. Yeah, because they got hit first. Hawaii got hit first. Plume comes close to the surface, all the way to the ocean floor, all the way up to the upper troposphere. Canada TV, Japan debris hit BC, warned about radiation. Never seen such a large quantity of debris. Moving much faster than expected. No, because you were lied to. Or you're the liars, one or the other. Do the math, look it up yourself. Don't be a dummy. Travels at 5 miles per hour, 24 hours a day, times 45 days, 5,500 miles. Yeah, but they said 2 years. Do your own math, stupid. How can you be that gullible not to do your own math? And the plume of debris, twice as big as Texas, this is 2011. See, the size of Texas, the plume is coming off the coastline. How much through it? 129. So think about the plume. So if the plume, this is a better one here. So if the plume is off the coast of Japan, right? Size of Texas, the plume is flowing in it. You think it's going to land on the debris or not? Or some of it's contaminated. What are you talking about? It's all going to be contaminated. It's floating. When it falls down out of the sky, it lands on it. How many times has that got to happen dating before it's contaminated? Just once. Yeah, Hawaii's okay. Look at it. Like, listen to me. Don't listen to them. Use what I'm showing you as your foundation to do your research. When people come and tell you, when you read the media or watch the media, they tell you it's like walking in the sunshine. more radiation eating a banana. These are all the lies. Sleeping next to somebody, more radiation eating potato chips, more radiation climbing a mountain, more radiation flying on a plane. It's everywhere and it's good for you. Anybody tells you that is lying to you. See, everything I do is overwhelming anyway. Like, I'm going to get on a boat, little dinky, go up here now in 2 weeks and do the whole coast during the winter and spring and fall. And I don't even have enough money to go do the coastline. A little bit. Enough to get there and get into trouble. That's about it. So let's see, I just want you to understand how overwhelming it is for someone like me with 6 gag orders to try to do something like that. And yet, I got to show up and try to help you too. I got to, right? I can't not. Right? That's the attitude you got to have. Well, Dan, I don't got all the bells and whistles like you. Yeah, well, at one point I didn't either. And so I just persevered. Then I had 6 gag orders, and he bankrupted me. Then no lawyer would touch me. Then I was vilified and demonized in the media, but I never went away. I grew bigger. I grew stronger. I grew more proficient, more authoritative. I became more astute, more articulating. I gathered up more information to tell the story. Not to defend myself, because I don't need to do that, because I'm not guilty of anything, only being morally driven and doing an exemplary job of gathering up the documentation and presenting it. And I don't always come across as meek, because I'm not. You have to have an incredible drive to do what I'm going to do again, to pull off the whole west coast of British Columbia, Canada. Just on its own, just going out dawdling along is a remarkable feat. To put it all together and turn into research expeditions is unprecedented anywhere on the planet. There's nobody out there who can touch me for perseverance and for what we accomplished. Yeah, I took a great beating. I've been destroyed. Everybody attacks me for every little thing. I'm the most criticized person imaginable. But I don't lie to anybody. There's no need to do that to me. I'm not the bad person. I genuinely thought it would end once I proved my point. And even though 6 years of proving my point, it turns out that the public relation firms are my only advocates that are attacking me. And they won't show themselves. They won't present themselves. They won't stand by their words. They won't tell me who they are. They won't give me their telephone number. They attack me with conjectures. I'm the good person. You got to realize, people like me, we're not giving 6 gag orders because we're making mistakes. We're giving 6 gag orders because we're bang on. We're right on the target. We're smack into it. We're bullseye. Unprecedented phenomenon from using saltwater in Fukushima reactors. Forming uranium compounds are able to travel long distances like carbon buckyballs. We covered that earlier. Radiation plumes now hit Hawaii. In a year, it'll probably reach the U.S. West Coast. It takes 45 days. The media is despicable. But the fact that we got headlines that we can dissect and utilize to show the deception is good enough, see? But then we get these little tidbits. Fukushima contamination in the ocean reached Alaska in under a month. Yeah, but it's not going to hit Hawaii. Hawaii's special, Dana. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Giant pieces of tsunami debris near Hawaii. Fishermen concerned about nuclear contamination. Okay, 132. Let's do this again. 135. So I go out. Hawaii's bleached, and so is our coastline. Our coastline is bleached, just like this is low tide. I go out at low tide and I do species count, insect, bird, mammal, animal, but these are the nursery. There should be 7,000, should be 700 algae, should be 78 species of sea anemones. And a sea anemone in many different colors for each species. The species you're looking at will cover every single rock. There's all the algae, there's 74 species of sponges. You only seen a couple. There's incredible diversity of sea urchins. I used to pick 20,000 a day at those underwater as a commercial diver. I've done so many other things in the ocean, but it's bleached, just like the corals are bleached. Everything else is bleached. When the birds come through, there's nothing to eat. The birds can't go and land to the picture to your left. They're going to land to the picture to your right and starve to death. Picture to your left, they're going to eat and be fine. Picture to your right, they're going to starve to death. Do you get it? Do you understand it? Are you able to comprehend it? The species to your left are gone. The species to your right is what it's supposed to be like and has been for millions of years. Now everything is gone. See, I go up, boots on the ground. This is me to the left. These are my pictures to the left. And I know these are the official pictures of the same spot, by the way. And so I go up and do the whole coastline. Not just little fractions of it. I don't just run in and take a few pictures, run away again. No, I'm out there doing the research. Everything is bleached here too. It's not just Hawaii is what I'm just trying to say to you. But that's one way to compare it for people in Hawaii. You're trying to appreciate what I do, why my words should should be validated. There was a radiation person out there checking debris from Fukushima. Official by state-of-the-art detectors, and they'll tell us in a couple of years whether it's going to be there, but it's going to be with us for a number of years. Uranium-238, by the way, it was 235, but this is the media for you. It's like 50 times normal levels. There is no normal level. This is shocking numbers, by the way. Rapidly spreading diseases in Hawaii coral. Fish with lesions. Turtles are having problems, really. They concern whether infectious to humans. Truly an unusual event. No, it's not. That's the norm now. Hawaii doctors finding uranium people urine. Residents demand action. Right, and they all went back to sleep. Oh, to me, it's like, we'll get on top of it. You go about your daily. Oprah's got a good show on today. Get on over there. We'll get to you when it's ready. Government contacted to test radiation levels of Japanese boat found in Hawaii, 2013. Oh, well, this one was actually a boat. It wasn't like a little dinky like the shithead gave us earlier, right? And then said Fukushima, see, it took 6.5 years to get here. Sickening. Widespread distrust of scientists over Fukushima, really? Sailors in Hawaii being asked to monitor Fukushima plume. New type of debris. I mean, twice the size of Texas, everything is covered in radiation. One of the many points of interest about the story was that when he arrived in Hawaii, the yachtsmen were asked to help monitor plumes of radiation from Japan-stricken reactors. The radioactive plume traveled 1,800 kilometers in 270 days. Now, I showed you the dispersal. They were based upon 40 days, covered all the Pacific, all of North America. It takes 45 days to cross the ocean, not 270 days to reach 1,800 kilometers. It's total deception, see? And so then they talk about, look at this one, 8 centimeters per second. Well, why not say 5 miles per hour? 8 centimeters per second. So you go over to the study. You go check it out yourself. Surface pathway, blah, 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 blah. And then, so cesium 134 and 137 were released into the North Pacific Ocean, but 2 major likely pathways: direct discharge from the Fukushima nuclear power plant accident site and atmospheric disposition. Atmospheric disposition. It's like rain falling in little clouds or snow or fog. More like fog. So all the other isotopes are there, not just cesium, folks. Okay? It's not just cesium, right? People that tell you it's cesium, these are idiots. And not only cesium-134, 37, but all the cesium, all of the daughters would have showed up. You get it, what they got done to you? This is why it's important to fund the expeditions I'm going on in 2 weeks. Because we'll put the truth out there in very high quality, underwater submergible. We got incredible drones with all of these got gimbals on their cameras, very high-end cameras. We're going to have gimbals for the big camera you seen earlier for the interviews. Everything that might come back. As I come ashore each time, we'll be uploading the footage to my website, A Beautiful Girl by Dana. I'll be doing a blog also at thenuclearproctologist.org this time. It's easy to put up a blog. I can write it while I'm on the ocean. I'll basically be putting up my logbook each day when I come ashore. Maybe for 6 days, I'll put up my logbook at my nuclear proctologist for those days. Rain with 20 million particles of iodine. See? Right? Think about just that. If it was just a single plume, we're still in trouble. It just didn't stop, but we'd be in trouble. 220 million becquerels per liter of rain falling on Hawaii and everywhere else, but he hid it away from me on purpose. This is why my phone was ringing off the hook all morning with people attacking me before I got the show started, because they knew I was going to come out and smoke it. Japan's contamination move in the same speed as the currents. The currents move at 5 miles per hour plus, right? 24 hours times 5 miles per hour. Then multiply that by 45 days, and it's at North America door. Half of that is in Hawaii, right? But they want to call it centimeters per second. Like, they hide it. That's how they hit it. They call it centimeters per second. And people think, I don't know. Where's it to? Up here. An average zonal speed of the surface radioactive plume is calculated to be about 8 centimeters per second. And people are like, oh, jeez. That's like 2.5 inches a second. And so, like, that doesn't scare you, right? 5 miles per hour. You're like, oh, give me the calculator for a second on your phone. Jeez, that's 45 days. It's going to be in North America. 8 kilometers a second. Anybody, like, most people just glance through and go, and it's right at the bottom, you know, so it purrs. Whatever. Let's get through this. Massive amount of debris off Hawaii. It just kept going and going and going and going. It's the size of Texas. Hawaii senator introduces the bill. We got that. We're almost through. Yeah, just got a few more flicks here. Most shocking thing is how U.S. government was very concerned about Fukushima hitting the West Coast and affecting Americans. The public told that everything was fine. Right? Oh, it's all good. Go back to sleep. These journalists, man, like all of Hawaii journalists done it to you. Every one of them. All your media in Hawaii done it to you. They're still going to do it to you. Are going to do it to you tomorrow, tonight, the next day. They're not going to slow it down. They don't think that you're smart enough to find someone like me and absorb it and understand it. Right? Now, if Hawaii was to share me, turn me viral, just push me for a whole week, this one video, you got to watch it. All the information's there. You got a perfect foundation to go look up everything on your own. Dana really knocked it out of the ballpark. He gave you everything you needed. So they can't lie to you no more after you understand the video. So if Hawaii turned me viral, the rest of the planet might pick me up and support me when I'm out there on these expeditions in the next 2 weeks, lost on the Pacific by myself, doing a job that nobody else will do. It's a brutal job. There's nothing good about what I'm doing. Dead whales, record high numbers, deaths in Hawaii, 2000, February the 8th already showing up, see? Sick and starving. Oh, but they're surprised now. And when they said they had not whales died before, remember that headline from today's headline? They didn't bother to mention that in February of this year, they had whales dying there too. They went all the way back to 2008 where there was a calf died, yeah? Instead of talking about this, see? Mass strandings of whales in Hawaii. And people are upset and they're just blowing it off now. Go back home, we'll get to it. Fukushima plant will burn radioactive waste. Incinerators to run around the clock. That means Hawaii is going to get endless radioactive fallout. As if it's not bad enough. They're not done. This is criminal. If I do it, if a terrorist done it, the whole world would freak. If North Korea done it, the world would freak. Japan does it, nobody cares. Nobody cares about Hawaii, only me. And the people that support me and that I support, we support Hawaii. Massive radioactive waste built up in Tokyo because The incinerators, they had to stop the operation in the incinerators. Radioactive ash fills up all their storage. They're burning it throughout the country on purpose, and then Hawaii is the first one to get burnt on top of that. Airborne materials, contaminated, detected even in the Sea of Japan. Of course it was. Have you seen the models from the Norwegian Institute, from France's IRSN, from Switzerland, from Austria, from NOAA, from Health Canada? I'll go back. I'll put them in your video earlier. There comes the end of the video anyway. You got to realize that me and the crew here, we're not here for something to do. We're here because it's got to be done. Somebody got to tell that story. Somebody's got to make Earth's last stand besides us. Hopefully. Hopefully we're not Earth's last stand, this little group of people. But if it is, it's something fitting for history to remember that we were solid. We were rock solid. We brought it to them the whole way. We didn't let them get off easy. We called them on it. We stood our ground. All we asked was a little bit of support. Help me out. Help me make it to next summer. I'll be gone on the ocean. Doing all you. I'm the last expeditions to do species counts. And that's the history book for sure, right? 6 gag orders or not, that's the history book. We'll remember that Dana Durnford and crew, we are the last expeditions to go out and try to count the species before they were gone. We fought every day, non-stop, for your freedom, for your liberties, for your rights, for your ability to have a future, for your right to be radiation-free. Everybody here sacrifices. Everybody, not it's never me. I'm just a venue everybody chosen. I'm the one who's willing to take the blows. I'm the one who'll stand up, smile, wipe the dirt and the blood off his face, clench his fist, and go pound to pound with these people again. You cannot stop me. I'm the force that you feared the most. I am your reckoning. I'm here to end you and the nuclear industry permanently. I'm not here for games. There's nothing selfish in my life. I'm fighting for you, for the 8 million species on the planet, for every person that ever had a hope or a dream. And for those that are not born yet, I apologize. And hugs for everybody.